Now, from Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7 at 10 starts with breaking news.
Two breaking news stories. First, police find a driver with a gunshot wound. He was in an SUV on the North Freeway.
Now, Omaha police say the SUV fled the scene of a call where shots were fired near 24th and Heimbaugh. KETV NewsWatch 7's Michelle Bandura is live at CHI Creighton with an update.
The shooting victim is being treated here at CHI Creighton University Medical Center. Police have not yet released his name. Medics rushed him here in critical condition after police found him in this black Yukon SUV in the northbound lanes of Highway 75. Police say he was in the driver's seat. A woman unharmed was in the passenger seat. Now, police say it all started at 24th and Heimbaugh just after 7:30. Officers were there for a shots fired call. Witnesses told officers the black SUV and the red car were involved in a shooting, but both had fled the scene. Other officers found the red car abandoned near 24th and Hartman. Now, police are trying to sort out all the details of how the shooting happened, and they are still looking for suspects in the shooting. Reporting live, Michelle Bandura, KETV NewsWatch 7.
Thank you, Michelle. Also breaking at 10, a barricade situation ends peacefully near 35th and Pacific. This is video just back from the scene, and police say the person inside had a gun and was suicidal, also threatened to hurt officers. After a short standoff, the man turned himself in. There's no word on what charges, if any, he might face.
All right, now what to do in the search for Omaha Public Schools' next superintendent. The school board's wrapping up its meeting.
Well, 3 finalists for the job all dropped out last month. Now the board's trying to make sure someone's in the job by fall.
Yeah, KETV NewsWatch 7's Christina Engdahl's been at the meeting all night and is live with the developing story. Christina.
And guys, that meeting is actually still going strong here at the TAC building. And just within the past half hour, after about an hour of round and round with board members, the decision is to open up just the interim job for an application process. And I'm going to give you a live look right now that they are still discussing what that process is going to look like, because Dr. Mark Evans would not say if he'd temporarily take his old job back. After about an hour of insults, accusations of dysfunctionality, and repeated calls for the Omaha Public School Board to be transparent.
You all need to be listening to each other as well, not crafting any sort of backroom deals with some board members while leaving the other board members out of the loop.
We now need you to be transparent and public.
That's exactly what board members did, discussing in an open meeting who should lead the district. To some, it's the superintendent they already have, but Dr. Mark Evans would not say if he'd take the job.
I'm interested to see if this is an issue that unifies the board, the selection of an interim, and that could impact my answer whether it's yes or no.
And that idea brought some opposition from community members.
I agree that we need stability, but we don't get stability by reappointing a superintendent who decided to quit in the middle of his contract.
Other board members saying it's time for an application process.
One, we have to make sure that they have the right qualifications. And two, to me, that just signifies that they really want to be here with OPS, and that's very important.
But a plea from the community, whatever they do, make the best decision for children.
Out of this crisis, this may be the opportunity that you can help bring this whole city together.
So again, they did decide to open up that interim position to an application process. Those applications will be due to the board by April 12th. And speaking of unification, even that vote tonight was not unanimous among board members. And that person who does apply to be the interim, developing just within the past few minutes, cannot apply to be the permanent superintendent. Now, some questions still hanging out there. Will the board continue to use their current search firm, or will they hire another? When that question came up, board members said it was not appropriate to discuss that element of the search tonight. Reporting live at the TAC building, Christina Engdahl, KETV NewsWatch 7.
Lots of work ahead. Thanks, Christina. Commitment 2017 coverage now. We're just hours away from the polls opening for Omaha's primary election. Mayoral candidates hoping to move on to next month's election, continuing pushing for last-minute votes.
And KETV NewsWatch 7's David Earle has coverage from our live desk. David?
Rob, those polls open at 8 a.m. tomorrow and close 12 hours later. We caught up with candidates for mayor, all making their last-minute pushes today. Taylor Royal out waving signs at 72nd and Dodge.
And I think a fresh approach, a fresh business mindset is really what people are looking for, and that's what I bring to this race.
I think it's an opportunity really for for this city to elect the first middle-class mayor in well over a generation.
Mello explaining his South Omaha roots to listeners on the radio, while the incumbent mayor, Jean Stothard, touted her track record in the office.
Economic development is growing. There's a lot of investment going on in Omaha now, and we've really modernized City Hall. We've made it much more customer friendly.
We have a lot of people that haven't been touched. Other politicians have never come through here, and so we've seen that for a lot of places throughout the city.
That was Ian McHale traveling through places he says the city left behind. Candidate Christopher Geary tells us he spent the day door knocking. Again, those polls open tomorrow morning at 8. Julie?
Thanks, David. Omaha police need help finding a missing man who has dementia. 87-year-old Francis Thies was last seen driving a gray Buick LeSabre with Nebraska plates SDX 826. It was around 12:40 this afternoon. That was near 90th and Dodge. Please call police if you see him.
Well, nobody has flipped the calendar inside the Sons of Italy building. Still says January. It's when a massive fire nearly gutted the historic hall.
Bottles of alcohol still sit on the bar, frozen in time after the intense flames ripped through. Seat backs left melted away and ceiling grids still sag from the heat.
The KETV NewsWatch 7's Camilla Ortiz continues our exclusive look inside and shows us what's next for this Little Italy staple.
This was a place that people can come to and feel at home.
That home destroyed in a January 13th fire.
We lost some things that can't be replaced.
Walking me through the damage is Sons of Italy State President Dr. Thomas Pruce, who shows me collapsed ceiling panels, melted chairs and televisions, and a layer of soot on everything in the dining room. Fire investigators believe oily rags sparked the blaze in the kitchen.
It's just devastating, really heartbreaking.
But the order will rebuild, and Pruce says make their hall look better than ever. Antoniak Construction starting to gut the building Monday. They've got big plans for the well-loved hall.
So to have our name associated with a staple of Omaha like the Sons of Italy is a great deal for us.
Co-owner Chris Antoniak says the biggest difference will be a brand new pitched roof to replace its flat one and a reorganized interior.
We're doing some improvements to the bar in the back.
These preliminary drawings laying out a larger dining room and bigger bathrooms, plus an outdoor patio area. But Pruce says the history and tradition of the order won't be going anywhere.
But what won't change is our members and the community of South Omaha that consider this their home.
Insurance won't be covering the entire cost of construction, especially when it comes to replacing things inside the building. Dr. Pruce says the order will be planning some fundraising spaghetti dinners this summer. The new and improved hall should be open by the end of the year. In Omaha, Camilla Ortiz, KETV NewsWatch 7.
Well, is Sarpy County becoming Nebraska's Silicon County? A news conference tomorrow morning could have Facebook announcing plans for a multi-million-dollar data center near Highway 50 and Cape Hart Road. Now, details are slim, but local and state leaders will be there, and so will we. If the center is built, it would join several other large data centers in Sarpy County. Look for updates on KETV.com.
One of Iowa's biggest health insurance companies will no longer sell individual policies. Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield blames instability caused by the Affordable Care Act and the failed effort to replace it. 21,000 Iowans who bought a policy after January 1st of 2014 now need to find a new provider. If you bought a policy before that date, or if you have a policy through an employer, you should be okay. Crime Stoppers coverage at 10 of some stolen statues taken from a baseball complex near 192nd and West Dodge. Police say these bronze figures are worth about 40 grand. Call the Douglas County Sheriff's Department if you know anything about it. The number is 402-444-6000. And now a warning about the importance of protecting yourself and your things.
A Sunday afternoon trip to the zoo ends with a shattered car window and a Metro family's belongings stolen. KETV NewsWatch 7's Michelle Bandur has the story, new at 10.
A trip to ABC Glass Monday is not what Brad Higgins had in mind when he took his family to the Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium over the weekend.
Saw the glass initially on the ground and came up to my window and it had been broken out.
Someone smashed out a window and snatched the purse left on the floor. Higgins thought it was out of sight because of the tinted windows.
An iPad, all the IDs and the wallets and all those, so I had to cancel all that information.
Higgins is disappointed and surprised the break-in happened at the popular and busy Omaha Zoo.
It wasn't, a dark time. It wasn't, 3 lots away. It was 7 rows from the front. And, if that's not being, monitored, then what's happening on the other parts?
We just can't prevent everything that occurs.
Director of Safety and Security Craig Jacobs calls the car break-ins unfortunate. He says there have been 16 since the beginning of the year. Jacobs points out the safety signs throughout the parking lot, urging people to not leave valuables in their cars.
We enhance our presence with outside contract security, and then we keep in close contact with Omaha police.
He says right now there is limited video surveillance, but they are looking into expanding the coverage of the camera's reach. Higgins says his family will be back at the zoo and next time won't leave anything in the car.
The income that zoo brings in and the revenue they bring in, I think they, need to make sure people are safe and their belongings are safe and their cars are, and I think they need to just kind of relook at things.
Michelle Bandur, KETV, NewsWatch 7.
Let's take a live look outside right now. Some showers in the area, more expected for tomorrow. Does this sound familiar? Weather Now Chief Meteorologist Bill Ramsey is live with the upfront forecast, so you can plan your Tuesday, Bill.
Rob, you have some rain around the area right now on camera runs, too. You look at the camera here from the Embassy Suites downtown, and you can see it's damp there. Current temperature at 51 degrees with a shower at Epley Airfield. There is the radar, and you can see the rain around the metro, and the story is that the clouds are going to be slow to leave, so a chance of rain again Tuesday and even some light rain possible Wednesday. Here is Tuesday. Clouds early and often, 40s in the morning, 50s in the afternoon. Julie, Rob?
Okay, thanks, Bill. More complete coverage continues next at 10 with the alarming spike in parents addicted to opioids.
And because of it, our State of Addiction coverage looks at the aging population left to raise the children.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7, with Rob McCartney, Julie Cornell, your Weather Now forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby, and sports with Andy Kendi. Live from 7 Burlington Station. This is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 10.